It's 5:50 and welcome back to the Todd and Oz Show. Let's give them the business. It's brought to you by Align Foot and Ankle. Online at alignfootclinic.com. That's alignfootclinic.com. Home values are falling more than half in America, and the biggest share since the country was still clawing its way from the Great Recession. New data from Zillow shows 53% of the U.S. homes have lost their value over the past year. It's the highest level since 2012 when the housing crash finally hit bottom. The national market, it looks flatter on paper, but the average masked the huge difference between regions and cities and even neighborhoods. And prices have been slipping in mostly the South and the West as homes were hit hard, the market, and buyers are staying on the sidelines. And many would-be buyers are holding off amid the recession fears, stubbornly high mortgage rates above 6%, and the standoff with sellers who refuse to cut asking prices. And many of the biggest drops are once in the red-hot pandemic boom towns. Denver, 91% of the homes have fallen from their peak value. 89% have fallen from their peak value here in Austin, and 88% in Sacramento. The Trump administration is pointing to excessive regulation, claiming they are fueling housing problems. Here's Fox business reporter Darren Bartello.
Housing and Urban Development Secretary Scott Turner speaking with Fox about helping to bring down those prices.
We have to get with local leaders, mayors, economic development, planning and zoning, and take a real inventory, to your point, of how is the regulatory environment crippling and literally shackling development and building in our said communities across America.
According to the National Association of Home Builders, or NAHB, housing is now so expensive that a family earning the median income has to use 38% of their pay just to go to cover the mortgage on a new median-priced home.
Meanwhile, the Federal Housing Finance Agency Director Bill Pulte, he says his agency is considering portable mortgages, which would allow a homeowner to transfer their loan to a new home when they move. It is 5:52. Some members of the Austin City Council showed up for a public meeting last night to discuss the revised city budgets in the wake of the overwhelming rejection of Proposition Q on the ballot. The city council has framed the issue as a loss of $110 million, and now they're trying to figure out what they might cut in the budgets. Mayor Pro Tem Vanessa Fuentes says she hopes the council can rebuild trust with the public someday.
Us moving forward, it was important that we really root our policy and decision-making based on the feedback we're hearing directly from our communities.
Now, some people slam the council for trying to tax the people out of their homes, while at the same time spending massive amounts of money on things like an overhaul of the convention center. And Councilman Mike Siegel claims he was never really in favor of that.
I share that concern. I didn't run for city council to build convention centers. And how do we express that we want to build a city for all of us?
Former mayor candidate and mayor of the Austin Neighborhoods Council, Jeffrey Bowen, he tells CBS Austin, this isn't rocket science. The council simply needs to start listening to the voters.
Pay attention to what Prop Q said. 63% said this wasn't working for us. You've lost our trust.
Yeah, the Austin City Council is expected to hold multiple work sessions this week to finalize the budgets, and a vote could come as soon as this Thursday. It is 5:53. The Second Circuit Court of Appeals in New York hears arguments about whether or not to revive hundreds of lawsuits by families who blame Tylenol or acetaminophen for their children's autism or ADHD. Fox business reporter Lydia Hugh has that story from New York City.
A lawyer for families in roughly 500 lawsuits is arguing that a trial court judge got it wrong when she threw out their expert opinions that acetaminophen caused autism and ADHD. So they want these cases brought back so a jury can decide the issue. Now, generally, this type of argument is an uphill battle, but one issue that sets this argument apart from most is the Trump administration's recent public guidance to pregnant women to avoid the pain relief medication. The administration points to studies that suggest a potential association with acetaminophen and ADHD and autism.
Meanwhile, researchers pushing back against the Trump administration's claims, and a Texas judge has cleared the way for Tylenol maker Canuvi to pay out nearly $400 million to shareholders' dividends, despite an effort by an Attorney General Ken Paxton to block it from happening.
Paxton unsuccessfully tried to stop Kenvue from paying the money. He said he will not allow Big Pharma to ruin the lives of Texans with their lies and then refused to pay the bill. Texas claims Kenvue and Johnson & Johnson attempted to silence the science that prenatal and early childhood exposure to their acetaminophen can cause autism in children. Ashley Keller is an attorney for the state.
But this is about arming people with truthful information and allowing them, empowering them to make choices for themselves.
Kenvue claims there is no proven link between acetaminophen and autism, citing research by the FDA and global health regulators.
Latest newsman Chris Fox reporting. It is 5:55 here at KLBJ.
The Todd and Oz Show.
I want people in Austin to understand that foot health is not something to ignore.
Dr. Twee Ho Ellsworth from Align Foot and Ankle.
At Align, we emphasize proactive care and education, empowering patients to make informed decisions about their health, whether it's managing pain, treating chronic conditions, or optimizing performance for athletes. We're here to support the community's foot health needs.
So take your foot and ankle problems to Align Foot and Ankle. Online, alignfootclinic.com. That's alignfootclinic.com.